The next area which we're going to cover are the core Azure resources which are available for your consumption. This will be split into 4 main areas: compute, networking, storage, and databases. These resource types are the bread and butter for building out platforms, infrastructure, and applications in Azure, and therefore it's crucial that you understand how they work and how they differ from one another. Starting with compute, we will cover virtual machines, Azure App Service, Azure Container Instance ACI, and Azure Kubernetes Instance AKS, as well as Windows Virtual Desktop or WVDs. Azure virtual machines are the most standard and common type of compute, and they can be regarded as IaaS in the purest sense. You can choose the operating system, whether it's Windows or Linux, memory, CPU, storage, even graphic card, and based on your choices you are given a desktop or a server in Azure to do what you need with it. Azure App Services are PaaS offerings which are designed for running websites and IaaS workloads without needing to understand or worry about managing the underlying server infrastructure. These come in both the Windows and Linux offerings, and Azure Functions are a specialized kind of app service which act as Microsoft's main serverless compute offering. These allow you to run and deploy code such as C#, Python, PowerShell, or .NET without configuring any servers. We'll cover Azure Functions in more detail later on in the course. Azure Container Instance, or ACI, can be thought of as Docker as a service. It's a PaaS offering to run containerized applications on Azure without deploying Windows servers to run the containers on. Azure Kubernetes Service, or AKS, is very similar to ACI and can be thought of as Kubernetes as a service. It's Microsoft's PaaS offering for deploying Kubernetes clusters in the cloud, again without deploying any infrastructure, and it uses Kubernetes open source software. Finally, the last compute offering which you need to know for the exam is Windows Virtual Desktops. This virtualization service provides a desktop in the cloud solution, which can be accessed via web client or native application, and it simplifies a lot of the management that would be required with building standard virtual machine desktops, including the need for an RDP gateway, for example. These allow personal desktop management for users through the Azure portal and through the Azure predefined roles and permissions. Microsoft also provides an RDP broker as a service as part of Windows Virtual Desktop, so you don't need to deploy your own.